Hi, what I'm going to do, just doing a little video today, just to show you, this is the end of me making my nucs up now. So these nano boxes that I use, I don't need them anymore for mating nucs up. This one's grown quite big now, as you can see. The bees are piling in. I have been bleeding bees off this, like, all up until this place. So end of April, May, I've been taking bees out of this, making mating nucs up, and obviously I've got all my mating nucs sorted now. So we're in the second week in June, so I don't need all these bees in these nano boxes now. So what I'm going to do is transfer them over into a modified box that I've done. It used to be a 14x12, but I put a floor in it so I can use it as an ordinary national, because I've standardised all my boxes to be national now. It's got a disc on the front, the same as what the bees are used to now. So what I'm going to do now is split up this box and transfer them into there. And with the number of boxes on here, that'll end up being equating to a double brood box. So what I'll do with it then, once it's all swapped over into a double brood box, I will give them a week then to settle down and sort it out, because obviously I've messed up the frames a bit. And then the flow is due in about 2 weeks. So these should be well on, and I'll add supers on them then for the flow. So it works out really good, because I'm getting nucs all the way through the spring and up to the end of May when I'm doing my mating nucs. And now I'm changing them over to be production hives, so they'll get me maybe get me 1 or 2 supers as well, which will be good. So I'll show you how I transfer these over now. What I haven't showed you before, what I do as well is I've got a bucket like this with all my hive tools in, and obviously to keep the disease down and stop it transferring over, what I do is I have washing salt and a little touch of bleach, and I'd have half a dozen hive tools in here that are kept in it all the time, and each hive I'll just pick them out and use it to see, and you can see how clean they are. I'll just use a clean cloth to wipe them down, and then we're ready to go. I've just split the top 2 boxes off now. I'm into there just to give you an idea what was on in these 4 frame hives. So as you can see, they build up like they would in a tree. I find the bees expand really well in these. So what I've done now is I've just split them up now. So what I'm going to do is the bottom 2 boxes there, I'm going to get to them first, because that's where most of the brood is, and I'm going to transfer them in the bottom box over here. I've just split the box now, and as you can see, there's some drone brood that's between the boxes, and this is a really good way to see what the varroa is like. If you're having a look there, just to check your varroa levels in your hive. Can't see any on there, which is a good sign. And obviously we've got these here as well. It's a really good way just to check your varroa levels. So what I've done now is the bottom box there, it's got the entrance in. I've just put that on the floor now, and I've moved the big box over, and that's the box, the second box up that I've transferred over. So what I have done, I've kept them in the same order with the exception of that one. So that's got stores in, so I've pushed that to one side. So what I'm going to do now is this bottom box, I'm going to transfer that into there. So there's the first box done. But what I have done with this is, these are newly drawn out combs. So what I've done is and the bees have not been in them as such because they were up in the higher boxes. So I've done a bit of a checkerboard on them, and I've put some of the new ones that had no brood in between, so the bees can build out the nest, and it gives the queen a lot more space. But what I am going to do is put a double brood box on this for now, and I'll transfer the rest of the frames in, and then I'll give it a week for them to settle down. I will find a queen and put her in the bottom box here, put a queen excluder on. All the sealed brood I'll put above it in the other box, and then there's loads of room for the queen to lay. All that brood will hatch out, and I'll put a super on it as well. And then this one then I can pretty much forget it's swarming for this year then. So I can just let them settle down and hopefully get some honey. So what I've done there now, you can see I've stripped that nano box down. They're on a double brood. I transferred all the frames. Where the nest is in the middle that was at the top, I've actually just put that in the middle above. Most of that's sealed brood. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave them a week, let the bees sort it out and put everything where they want it now, because I've messed the hive up. And then I'll come back after a week, find the queen, put her in the bottom box, and get any sealed brood out of there and put that in the top, and put a queen excluder on and leave her in the bottom. And then once they've all hatched out in the top, then I'll take this box off, the top brood box, and I'll replace it with a super. But what I probably will do is put a super on before then, just to let them go up into it, just so that you're used to it, and then I'll put it back. So that's it, complete now, roof on and everything. Bees all settling down. If you look at the front, they're doing some fanning now, because obviously I've messed up their nest as such. So give them 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, and they'll soon settle down. And with having a disc entrance like they had already, they're used to that anyway, so I say I'll just leave then. So see how they go. What I've just done with that hive now, this is the one I did last week. This was in a sort of a 4-frame box with 6 boxes on. And what I did these last week, and you can see on this hive how they're all settled down, and all the bees, they're just coming up to have a look what I'm doing. So you can see how settled they are now. But if you do look here, there is a lot of new wax that they're actually doing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give them a super. But what I don't do with this one is, at the minute, a lot of it's foundation, so I'm going to I'm not going to put a queen excluder on. I'm just going to leave it. I've got 3 wet frames in there that have been extracted, so that'll make the bees come up and clean them up as well. And hopefully the flow should be starting anytime soon, and they'll draw that foundation out as well. So what I'm going to do now, that process I've just done, I'm going to do it on the same on these as well. These I've got on a pallet, which is a pain in the neck. I don't like using pallets, to be honest, but I run out of stands when I made these nucs up originally. So I've got 2 there to do, 1 at the back, and then I've got another 3 here that are all going to get put into hives, exactly the same as I've just done. And in about 4 weeks time, where I've got some bees at the farm, they have got the beans should be starting to come just right for these then, so I'll shift these and take them to the farm on the beans and hopefully get a crop off them. I've got 3 more that I did a good 2 weeks ago, so what I'm going to do with them now, I'm going to add another super on. But this, I'm just showing you this really. This is my truck that I do for moving my supers and my hives. It's just an ordinary wheelbarrow, and after it had rotted off the top, I've just made that. If you look at it like now, it's still on a bit of an angle, the boxes, but when I lift it up, it makes the supers straight. So when I'm pushing it, it's dead easy. So it's made a mega difference trying to balance. Instead of balancing them on a wheelbarrow like I used to do, this makes it great. And then I've put some brackets on the bottom there that the hive straps go through, and then I can tape them up. Again with this one, you can see I've got some wet supers in here. I've run out of drawn comb now, so all these supers I'm putting on now are most of it's foundation, but I've put 3 wet combs in there, so it just makes the bees go up a bit quicker. This one here, I did this one the same thing last week, and again I put some drawn comb that had been uncapped, and if you just have a look in here now what they're doing, they're actually drawing out all the foundation now, which is great. So as you can see, the bees moved up in it, and they've actually stored some in there now. I can see where they've stored it, so that's good. So the flow must have started slightly then. I mean, the blackberries are all coming out now, as you can see up there, which is good. So this is what I'm going to do on all of them. This is another reason why I don't finish with them nada boxes now, because these are all new queens this year, and they're laying like billy-o now, and I'll be selling the nukes very short, well, this week. But as you can see, I've got them all on 2 boxes. So the queens have all mated. So what this means I can do now is I'm going to sell a nuke, a 5-frame nuke. But what I can do is I can sell 5 frames, and I've got 3 frames left. But that, when I take them away, that leaves me a box for my next lot of queens to get mated in. So I'll be selling the 5-frame nuke. I'll put the box down with the 3 frames in and a brood, and then I can put my queen cells back in it, or my virgin queens. So as you can see, I've got loads of bees coming out now, and that's why I don't need them big not long nada hives now, the high ones, anymore, because I can just use these new queens to get the rest of them. So it works out really good. I've got plenty of bees. The ones I had in the nada hives now are going on to be production colony, you know, for honey, and it works out really well. This now, I've just done them boxes, and these are some of the nukes that I've made up, my mating nukes. As you can see, I've transferred out of them 4-frame boxes. I have used these other type of nukes I've got, which is 5-frame nukes, and these are all sorted. But what I can do with these is, if I did want to make any more mating nukes up, I can just, once this queen's mated and she fills up the 5 frames, I can pinch 2 frames out of there. So I've got my new queens, and then I can pinch the bees off that. And that's why them nada ones I've got, which I've just shown you, is I don't need them anymore as they are. Right, I've just swapped all them over now like I did the other one before. Only thing is, I had to take one of the hives away because he wouldn't fit on the pallet. It's not a full width pallet, so I can only fit 3 on it. So one of them had to take away. So that's them 3 done. So they're all settling down now. And then the others then, the other 3 on this pallet, did them 2, come to do this one, and as I opened them, they've got queen cells. So what I've done with that one, I've squashed the queen, and I've left 1 cell up, and I'll just leave them in the box like that and let her go out and get mated. So as you can see now, they're all fanning because they're a bit confused. This was the last one I did. As you can see, they're still a bit confused there, but all good. So I'll leave these a week now to a fortnight, and then I'm going to move them to the farm. Obviously, with the exception of that one now, I'll have to wait till the queen gets mated. So that's all of them complete now, and then all the boxes are all here ready to load in the van and take home and clean. You don't realise how many boxes there is there until you see them in a pile. But I'll clean these now and then reuse them. Just left these an hour now, I've just come back checking them. And as you can see, they've settled down as though nothing's happened now. Going in with the pollen. So, only takes them a couple of days, settle down now because I've messed the nest up.